So good morning or afternoon if you're picking up this workout later on today. But we are going to do a gentle yoga class today. So we'll be focusing today, we're calling this happy hips. So we are going to start in a seated position. You don't really need anything, but if you'd like a blanket or a towel or something, you're welcome to sit on that. But we're just gonna start in a seated position, kind of check in. So I just want you to allow yourself to just do whatever feels good for you today. We're just going to start with those palms up and fingertips together here, just to keep our body connected and in tune. And just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to focus right in your third eye here between your eyebrows. And just taking a second to kind of check in and see how you feel. Taking a slow, deep breath. You can keep your eyes closed. Opening up that rib cage and chest, allowing as much air and oxygen and love to come in. And as you exhale, I want you to allow your belly to pull through that back and just let your shoulders sink away from your ears. And you can follow that breath as long as you need to. Big inhale. And exhale. And keep in mind that if your body's telling you that it doesn't like something, please listen to it and do what feels good to you. So working on our happy hips today, we're going to make them happy by the end of this practice. Place your hands in heart center. Take a big breath as we reach up and just open your heart. Creating circulation through that heart as you press your shoulder blades back and into your chest. Inhale, reach up. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. And exhale, reach, open up that rib cage, squeeze. Feel free to lift that chin up and reach. One more time, hold it here, take a breath. You can look up if you'd like. If it bothers your neck, just keep it straight. Inhale, reach up. Let's take it over to one side, just resting that hand on the earth. And we're gonna use that hand to make sure both sit bones are on the ground. Draw your shoulder blade back. If you'd like to look up, you can. Just opening through the side bodies, we inhale through the center to the other side. Reach those fingertips. And big stretch going the other way. So we want to just open up through our low back, our hips, inner thighs, glutes. So we're going to get all through that lower body, but we will continue to move through that upper body as well. Inhale, reach up all the way to the center. Exhale, keeping those legs either crossed or if you want to go to butterfly. We're going to do both sides. Just bow forward and just roll those shoulders forward and back. And when we're going through our movements, I want you to remember to very gently go through those movements. Nothing jerky. And if something feels good, to just flow through it. I want you to just go for it. Just feel your body naturally or organically move from one movement to the other. And then just let your head rest heavy. Feel free to tuck your chin in your chest. Maybe you want to wiggle your head. Find those spots in your back. And slowly round and roll up. Let's switch legs. So if your legs are crossed, you can switch them the other way, just so our hips are even. Big inhale. If you're in butterfly, your legs are wide. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. And I want you to inhale all that positivity and squeeze. Exhale. Anything that's not serving you. And as we are home more often, we may notice now that things are starting to be a little bit more irritable over to one side. And that's okay. Just take a moment to breathe and notice why you're feeling that way. You can let yourself feel that way for a moment and then check back in. And during this practice right now, I want you to just take your mind and bring it into just you. Inhale, reach up, both arms. Exhale, bowing forward. And then just rest that head. Now maybe you're feeling a little bit more flexible, a little warmer. Maybe you can walk those fingertips a little further forward. Let your head fall heavy. Shifting that weight right and left. Noticing that stretch go through that lower back almost all the way down to the tailbone. Maybe through the hips. Hold it center. Take a breath. Feel free to wiggle that head. Again, just creating circulation, blood flow through that body, creating heat, and then slowly round and roll up, roll those shoulders back. Nice job. Let's place those arms. Getting just a little bit of stress and tension out of that neck and shoulders before we get into those hips. And we keep a lot of tension in our shoulders and neck, but most of our tension, especially women, keep a lot of tension in their hips, a lot of emotions. So you may notice today that you just take a deep breath and you have this sense of just emotions. You're not sure what it is. Maybe it's super happy, maybe it's sad, maybe you're just not sure. But allow that to happen today. And so if you need to stay in any pose that we're in longer, you can press pause, or you can come back to it, or maybe you want to come back to this whole workout later on. That's fine too. That's what we're here for. Shake everything out. So we're going to go ahead into a tabletop just for a moment here. We're going to place those knees under our hips and our hands underneath the shoulders. Round your back and tuck your pelvis forward. So I want you to actually round that lower back too. Open your fingertips real wide. And then rounding the shoulders away from your spine, tuck your chin in your chest. Pull that belly button in. Exhale and arch that back into a little cow. Drawing the shoulder blades back. Drawing your chest forward. So imagine a string in your belly button extending forward. Round the shoulders. What I like most about gentle yoga is it allows us to just really stretch and reflect on what our body feels like. Exhale and extend. Gives us time to just really notice where our body's at and be in tune with it. Extend those arms forward, curl your toes, and lift yourself to down dog. Now, anytime we're in a position that you need to rest, you're welcome to stay there. Or if you'd like to go into child's pose or a down dog, whatever feels good to you. We're going to pedal the heels right now, opening through the back of our knees. And take your time and then start wagging your tail. So now we're going to point that knee to the opposite elbow and start opening up through that lower back and hips. Now let's hold it with our right knee bent and point it towards your left elbow. Now look underneath your left armpit. So you should feel this through the side of the body. Push both fingertips into, or hands into your mat and shift your weight back. Let's switch sides. So we're stretching through the side of that body. Look through your armpit. So left knee bent, right armpit. Exhale back to center, down dog. Holding that down dog, shift your weight back. Really create a V with your body. Exhale, bring your chest a little closer to your thigh. Let your head hang through your arms. If you need to check if you're feeling this through your shoulders or your wrist, check your hands real quick. They should be pointing to the front of your mat, and your shoulders should be open. So if you feel your elbows bent, take your elbows and point them in towards your knees. Exhale and walk your feet to your hands. So we're going to hold it in our forward fold, and I'm just going halfway only because I need to make sure I have my space here for you guys to see. So we're just going to hold that forward fold, bend your knees. Grab your elbows here and feel free to just hang heavy. So feel that gravity pulling your shoulders towards your ears, opening up through that lower back, and then bending the knees. So we're not really focusing on those hamstrings quite yet. Take a breath. Inhale, push that chest towards your thighs and point your tailbone up to the sky. So now we're getting a little deeper through those hamstrings, opening through the back of the leg. Inhale, relax your arms, shake everything up. Halfway up. So we're going to hold it halfway up. We're going to get nice and deep right through that glute. So press your chest forward and your shoulder blades back, hinging only at the hips. And you can use your fingertips here to push your chest a little further forward. So whenever I say halfway up, this is halfway up. Exhale, drop down. Excellent. Let's walk our feet back to a plank. Hold your plank. Now in your plank, you can drop your knees. Remember, this is gentle yoga. I want you to do what feels good to you. Very gently, lean about an inch forward. You can drop those knees and slowly lower down. This is your chaturanga, around the shoulders, and lift yourself up. Flatten those toes. Take a breath. Now you can go halfway. Whatever feels good to you, slowly lower. And we're going to push ourselves back into a wide-kneed child's pose. Extend those arms. And we're going to work this into a little flow. Take a breath. Inhale, lift up. Arms are extended. Take the knees center, curl your toes, lift up to down dog. Pedal with wiggling your tail. And And then hold your right knee in. Look over your left shoulder. Exhale, switch sides. Left knee in, right shoulder. Inhale, down dog. Point that tailbone. Press your chest. Look at your fingertips. Walk your feet towards your hands. Holding that forward fold. Grab your elbows. Let that gravity. Notice this second time. Maybe you feel a little bit better. Inhale, halfway up. Hamstring stretch. Exhale, take it down. Beautiful. Walk your feet back to a plank. Holding the plank. Nice and controlled. Chaturanga down. You can drop your knees. Roll it up. Now you can go halfway up, or you could go cobra or up dog. Whatever feels good to your body. Whatever serves you the best. Slowly lower. Push yourself back. Open your knees and sit back to child's pose. And in this child's pose, if you want to wiggle, we're going to do that one more time. Starting to feel that body get nice and loose. So when we get deep into those hips, you're ready to go. Extend the arms. Knees center, curl your toes, lift yourself to down dog. Last time through this little flow. Exhale, wag your tail. Hold it, right knee bends in, look through that left elbow. Notice how that low back isn't so tight anymore, right? Exhale, switch sides. Back to center. And then walk your hand or feet to your hands. Hold your forward fold. Grab your elbows, soften the knees, lower back, ragdoll. Inhale, halfway up, hamstring stretch. Excellent. Drop it down, walk your feet slowly back into your plank, holding your plank. Chaturanga down. Remember, you can drop if you need to. Roll it up, and if you choose, up dog is an option. Open your chest. Let your shoulders sink away from your ears. Slowly come down and push yourself back to that extended child's pose. Hold it here. Excellent job, you guys. And just take a moment here. Let your forehead sink into your mat. And let's move on. We're going to go ahead, extend, walk those knees in, curl your toes, and then lift up into your downward dog. Now walk your toes together. Take your right leg and open up your hips. Drop your heel. Lift that knee up to the sky. Look through your armpit. Now this time we're going to take that left leg and we're going to take it to your right hand and open up into pigeon. So we're going straight into pigeon here. Extend the leg and slowly lower. We want a nice 90-degree angle. Now if you feel yourself leaning over on your tush, I want you to shift your weight more. And it's okay if your hip is off. Here's where that blanket or towel comes in handy. You can just kind of stick it right under that hip, and then you have a little bit more base. So if you feel like you're leaning here or it bothers your knees, shift yourself over and you can always come a little bit higher, okay? So from here, if you're not already extended down, go ahead and take it down. Now here's where those hips start to release all that tension and emotions. So we're going to stay here for a moment. You want that front foot at a little 90-degree angle. So really flex that foot. And rest wherever you feel. Now you can also have another pillow or another blanket in front of you, or maybe you have blocks and you can rest down here. So please make yourself as comfortable as you need to be. Taking one more slow, deep breath. Inhale, lift that chest up. Now make sure you're not really arching your back. So only go as far as you feel comfortable. I'm going to move the blanket for myself. And then right here, we're just going to slightly walk our body towards our foot. So we're going over to the side, and then feel free to extend your body back down. Take your time as you come back to center. Excellent job. Now to come out of this, lift your back foot and then back knee. Slowly lift up. Now you can walk that foot if you need to, okay? And then shake it out in a plank. Or if you need to be down here, shake it out. Excellent. Drop those feet. Lift yourself to down dog. Take a breathe in. Walk those toes together. Lift that right leg up. Open up your hips. Draw your heel. Shift your weight back, looking through that right armpit, stretching through the front of the hip here. I want you to really imagine drawing your knee up to the sky and then slightly behind you. Take your time. We're going to go into that pigeon. So your right foot goes towards your left hand and then gently drop down. Let's walk it back. So we're not doing anything fancy. We're just really getting in tune with where our body is. Keep in mind we want those hips center again. So if you need your blanket or your block, or maybe you want it in front of you. And once you feel like you've really gotten into your position, feel free to relax down. And with staying home more often, you might notice you might be sitting more or laying down more. And so we get a little tighter through that low back and hips. And then slowly bring that chest up. Walking towards your foot. Notice that we don't want to lean over and then extend. Taking a slow, deep breath. Allow that stretch to happen. Allow those motions to come out. And then slowly coming back to center. Excellent. Hold it here. Lift that chest up. So to come out of this, we curl that back foot, lift the back knee, and then shake it out. So you could be in your plank. You can have your knee down. Just shake that leg out. Drop the foot. Downward dog. Take a breather. Toes to touch. Inhale. Lift your left leg back up. Open up the hips. So we're going to vary that next section. Open up the hips, draw your knee up to the sky, look through your armpit, and then slide through into your pigeon. So hand and foot match, press it back, open up. Maybe now you can actually walk your hips a little further back. And again, if you're feeling your weight sit, I want you to shift your weight over. I hope you guys are feeling amazing. Open it here. Now this time we're going to take that back leg and lift it up. So but what we're going to do is walk our body into the right, and I'm going to be facing the opposite direction. And you can either extend or you can lift that foot and grab it. Now if this is too much, you can also have a strap or a towel, or maybe you just want to hold it here and extend, but it's still open through the front of that body. Feel that stretch of the chest as you take your shoulder and open it up. Slowly release the leg, extend it. We're going to go back into that pigeon pose. Hold it, shift that weight, center towards your foot. Inhale, lift it up. So we're going to come out of it the same way. Curl the toes, lift that leg, shake it out, drop it down, downward dog, and hold. Feel free to pedal your heels. If you need a second, you want to wiggle, you can. Hold it, downward dog, for one big, deep fire breath. Let everything go. Start to feel those emotions. Just let it go. Let it happen. Taking that right leg, lift it up. We start by opening the hips. Shift your weight back, lift your armpit. And let's slide it through into that pigeon again. So hand to the or foot to the opposite hand. Extend it back. Maybe you can use those toes to walk your foot a little further. Find that position. If it takes you a moment, that's okay. Take your breather. And let's go ahead and turn in towards that foot. Now again, you can open up and reach towards your leg, and this is plenty good. If you'd like to get a little deeper stretch the quad, you can bring and grab. Okay, but if it's too hard to grab it, but you still want it up, maybe grab a towel or a strap. And notice the stretch. If you're tight through your chest, feel that stretch as you bend the elbow and open that shoulder, keeping it away from your ear. Slow, deep breath. Listen to your body. There's so many options, so many variations to each stretch that I want you to do what feels good for you. I want you to remember it's not how far you can reach your toes. It's the journey on the way down. Let's slowly hold it center. And you may notice one day you're really tight and another day you're very flexible. Or you may notice one side way tighter than the other side. So every day is different. Accept the differences in you and others, and it's okay. Slowly bring it up. Curl the back toes, lift the back knees, shake it out however you need to. Drop the toes, downward dog. Now I want you to really try to press those heels into the earth. Point your tailbone as high up to the sky, creating that real tight V in your body. Big breath here. I want you to exhale as loud as you can. Oh, take all that emotion. Inhale, breathe it in. Exhale, just let it go. Oh, happy, happy hips. Walk those feet into your hands. Last stretch for those hips. Shake everything out. Inhale, bend the knees. Ragdoll your body into a standing position. Roll your shoulders, shake it out. Nice job. So we're going to do a balance one. I'm still working on my balance, so it's okay if you grab on to something. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just about balance, but we're still getting into the hips here, kind of like our pigeon. So I'm going to show you holding on to my couch, and you're welcome to hold on to anything or stay in balance. I can do one leg balance, but I'm going to show you the first leg. So we're going to take our leg, and you can take whichever leg you choose to do first, and we're going to drop it into this little figure 4 seated position. Now in this position, the first one, I want you to sit down into your hip with your chest up. If you want to try, you can maybe let go, see what happens. Yeah, see, still working on that side. That's okay. But it does help if you find a focal point in front of you, draw your belly button in, and just stare at one spot for a second and see what happens. Now another tip is if you place your hands by your ears, and now I want you to fold down. Now as you fold down, notice that stretch, a lot like our pigeon. Lower back, hips, glutes. Very gently. The easiest way to come up is to find your focal point in front of you and then come up. And then let's go ahead and shake it out. Big inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, shake it out. Good. All right, other side. So we're going to lift it up, figure 4, sit into it. Hold it right here, chest nice and tall. Find your balance. Good. Stay right here. Hold it, hold it. I think I'm having a glitch, so I apologize. And then fold it down. Just let it go here. Feel those hips open up. Slow, deep breath. And to find that way up, find that spot, stare at it. Oh, that helps with your balance, strengthening. Come on up and shake it out. Nice job. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to do one more standing here. Open up those feet nice and tall, or nice and wide. Big stretch out. And then exhale, we're going to forward fold. So you can grab your hips, or you can just reach straight down, but I want you to push those hips back, chest forward, and then hold a wide stance, forward fold, right here. Let your head relax. Now what we're going to do here is to open up through the hips, through the side, is I want you to push your weight over onto one side. Now actually push that hip over so the weight is kind of on the blade, the outside of your foot. Then over to the other side. And all the weight is on the side of this leg. Feel it all the way outside that IT band. And then bring it halfway up. Exhale, take it down. And I want you to just toe heel your feet about 2 or 3 feet or steps in. So your feet are still a little wider than your hips. Hold it here. Shift your weight back over to one side. Push your hip. Notice that stretch get a little further outside of that leg and up through the hip. And over to the other side. You want that toe and knee facing forward. Open up. Feel it go all the way down the side. Back to center. Toe, heel those legs just under the hips. Inhale halfway up. Some blood out of that head for a second. Exhale, and we are going to do it again. Inhale, shift your weight over. Now, when you shift your weight with your feet a little closer together, you can just bend one leg. But I want you to really push your hips off to the side. This is all about working down the thigh into that IT band. And then exhale, switching sides. So the knee bends just a little bit, and that's only for balance to push your hip off to the side. Back to the center. Inhale halfway up. We have one more to go. Exhale, bring the toes together. And we're going to turn our hips to one corner. And then drop down. Notice that stretch go from the back of the knee wrapping around that hip here. Tilt it the other way. So it's the tailbone that's happening here. Exhale back to center, bend the knees, and then just let yourself fall down into a seated position. Nice job. All right, let's finish off. Sit in our butterfly position for me, please. Take a breath. Just wiggle it out. Just check in for a second. Place those hands in heart center. We're going to actually work our way down onto our backs in a second, but I just want you to notice how you feel now as when you first started. So we're going to place those hands on our ankles, on our toes, roll the shoulders back and open that heart forward. Oh, you're going to feel so amazing after this. You're going to be floating all day long. All right, bringing those knees in. So we're going to take it slowly down onto our backs and finish off on our backs. So let's just lay down, take a moment. Feel free to extend those legs straight out. And then arms straight up, big stretch. Exhale and relax. We're going to bend those knees, bottoms of the feet are going to face the ground. Knees are up to the sky. And then open your feet wide. So we're on the edge of the mat, and if you're not on a mat, you just want them wider than your hips. We're going to windshield wiper our knees back and forth. Now what we're doing is counterbalancing the stretch from our low back and hips into the front of our hip flexors and quads. And we did a little quad stretch when we were in that pigeon. Opening the front of the hips is just as important as stretching through the back. And we're going to hold it over to one side. Now I'm going to hold it over to this side so you can kind of see it, but we're on the blades of our feet. Knees are wide. This way is easier, but you can see how the knees are open, but they're not stacked on top of each other. And then take your leg, if you choose, to rest it on that knee, and you can feel that stretch get deeper through the front of it. Just take a deep breath. Releasing the foot, slowly rock it back and forth if you need to. And over to the other side as we take that foot, gently press it down. Now check in, maybe you don't need that foot there. And then back to release, back and forth, windshield wipering those knees. And let's continue windshield wipering the knees as we walk our toes closer together. And then slowly rocking back and forth. And you can do it one movement at a time, but notice that stretch the low back, hugging the knees into the chest. Take your breath. Exhale and release. Now this series of stretches would be a great way to help you fall asleep. So maybe before you go to bed one day, you can tune back into this one, grab your ankles, pull it into your armpits, into your happy baby, either grabbing your ankles or the outsides or insides of your feet, wherever you choose. And I want you to imagine pulling those knees into your armpits. And take your shoulders and press them into your back, and your back straight into your mat. Feel free to kick from side to side. You should feel very relaxed, very clear-minded. It's amazing how you feel energy and relaxation all at the same time. Hold it here. Bringing those knees back into the chest. Extend just your right leg out for me, please. Then extend that left leg out. Arms above the head. Big stretch both directions. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, just let everything go. We're going to lay in our Savasana for just a minute here. But if you choose to stay here longer, you're welcome to do so. But to finish off our practice, I'd like you just to take a slow, deep breath and focus on something that really makes you smile. And whatever that is that makes you smile, I want you to think about that anytime you're feeling stressed, any type of pressure or anything. Just go back to that place. And then taking one more slow, deep breath, feeling your belly rise. And feeling it fall. Wiggling those fingers and toes. If you'd like to stay in your Savasana, you're welcome to do so. I'm just going to roll onto your side and lift yourself into a seated position. Placing those hands in heart center. Sealing in our practice with one final positivity. Knowing that you're awesome. Knowing that what you're doing is good. And that you're trying your best, and that's all that matters. So be you. Be positive. Allow yourself to have those moments. Thank you so much for joining me this morning or afternoon or wherever you are. The light in me honors the light in you. The badass in me honors the badass in you. Namaste. Thank you. Please remember that we will be putting these on YouTube and to subscribe to our channel, and that we also have a new online membership with special workouts and fitness calendars and a private group, and so it's a really great way to stay more connected and get more workouts and that kind of thing. So please click the link in our description if you'd like to just get on our waiting list or our mailing list, and we will give you some information. So have a great day, you guys. Thank you so much.